Can you tell us about the get together?
It's a horror sci-fi movie. No, I'm kidding. It's a party. It's a kind of a coming of age movie, right?
Yeah.
It's about four different characters. Well, it's mainly about four different characters whose night intersect, and they're all sort of in different parts of their life, but they're all kind of trying to reconcile changing and trying to have fun and growing up, trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it about this particular script that stood out to each of you?
Oh God. I just think the script is so well written, and I think when I was reading it, like you just feel for the characters and you want to like fight for them and tell their story and make it feel just as like real as we all feel in those moments. So I really liked it.
Yeah, I felt like I saw a little bit of myself in all the things, all the characters, and it happens to take place in Austin, where I'm from, and I felt like I had been to that party many times over. So I immediately was like, oh man, I do know what this is like. And it was fun. The beats were great. I found myself imagining everything the moment I read it and laughing, and it was great. It was really fun to read.
Yeah, like you're just saying, this film is a love letter to Austin. And Alejandro, you grew up in Austin. What impact has that city had on your career as both an actor and a musician?
Oh yeah, it's integral to it, and especially that this place has always been, people have. We were talking to someone earlier that was saying that this is sort of in the traditions of Linklater and stuff like Slacker, Dazed and Confused, and and it's a town that maybe parties past its prime many times, which is kind of what this movie in some ways are about, is the party never ending. And Austin definitely has that also in spades. So it's like, guys, it's like, do we have to have brunch every day? It's like, well, you never know, but it's, Austin for me too is I moved away from here when I was 17 or 18 and went to chase my dreams in Hollywood, where Courtney is now the reigning queen. And then, when I came back, I felt some of the stuff that, this movie has people leaving town and coming back into it and then feeling a little alienated, or people feeling alienated that someone has actually escaped it. And Austin also has a nickname called a lot of people refer to it as the Velvet Rut, because it's wonderful to hang out here and it's very easy to just not leave. So that whole thing is kind of, that's in the movie too, essentially. That's a secret character of it. So that was represented well.
And Courtney, this is your first feature film. Did anything surprise you about the experience? What was the biggest takeaway for you?
Well, it was my first time acting, doing anything, reading a script. It was first for everything. So I think, I guess I was surprised. I think I surprised myself a few times by like how passionate I was about, like, I don't know, like I didn't think I'd be someone that would, like, if my character's upset, I was like, okay, I'll play upset. But then when you're in the moment, like you really do get upset. So I think I was just surprised by like how well, when you're really in the scene and you're really doing everything and you're talking to Caleb or you're talking to people, like how real it all feels.
And there's so many
I can
great
only imagine, sorry, I can only imagine filming a horror movie.
Oh, yeah, you gotta be careful, right?
Yeah.
There's so many great comedic moments between your two characters. How did you both approach that dynamic, and how much of those scenes were improv?
Oh man, there was a fair amount of improv in there. The script was, the beats were pretty solid, but Will had that same approach that a lot of directors use, where we would go script and then do a few takes, or as many as we wanted to, that were just us being absolutely ridiculous. We threw a lot of ham at the wall and some of it stuck, but me and Courtney are both in the school of just hamming it up.
It was so fun. We would get safety shot, and then they would be like, all right, just have fun. Now play with it in this direction, play with it. It was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this film does a beautiful job striking a balance between comedy and drama, especially for your two characters. For you guys as actors, is one more challenging than the other?
Comedy's hard. as Courtney knows,
I think it's all for acting wise though. I think comedy is easier than I think.
No way. You think
Wait,
so?
what do I think about this?
I
I
change
don't
your answer midway through. Say that's comedy. You can't write this.
know. I don't know. I think comedy is easier to me, but drama is more fun to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean, I think it's easy to be. I mean, they're both hard. Honestly, it's not easy to be honest about either. But it's hard. It can be difficult to play something for laughs as opposed to having it just be funny. And the script was very funny too, so it was like, it was definitely a one up. But also sometimes it was like, man, am I doing this right? Like the beats are crucial. So it's comedy can be very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the two of you have so many standout moments throughout the film. Is there a particular scene that you're really excited for your fans to see?
Oh man. Courtney, what about you?
I'm excited. Yeah, okay. I'm excited for I think all of August's sad moments because I feel like my followers have only ever seen me like really happy and stuff, and I'm excited for them to see this other person.
Yeah, I thought we both had that last scene that we shot. That's kind of us finally.
So sweet, yeah.
Yeah, kind of finally breaking our little barriers and talking to each other is great. I think that's one I'm excited to see, or to have other people see.
The film's coming out in a couple of days. What do you hope audiences take away, and has that changed just given the year that we've had?
I think comfort. I hope that people are comforted by it, and as we're getting back into whatever regular life is, I hope that there's going to be some weird growing pains and feelings like we're turning back into our old selves, or maybe some people have already outgrown certain stuff through this really difficult time. And I think it's a nice moment to be like, I guess everybody goes through this. It's not just about age or situation. There's a lot of times probably in all of our lives that we'll be like, oh man, am I still doing this?
Yeah. I hope they just feel comfort. Like, especially I think now people are really going to be like having anxieties about like, I feel left out, or like, I don't even know if I'm doing the right stuff. And I think it'll be heightened because we've already felt so alone. So I feel like people are really going to be in their heads thinking like, this is crazy that I'm feeling this way. But then I hope that the movie, they can be like, oh, everyone feels this way. Everyone has these questions.
Yeah, and then final question for the two of you. The film is broken up into three parts, and each represents a different kind of era in your 20s. Courtney, I know you're still in your 20s, but if you had to summarize your 20s in one sentence, what would it be?
Chasing my own tail.
Yeah. I would just say like a hell of a lot of growing. And it's so weird because like when I filmed the movie, I was like literally August, like emotionally everything. But now that we're like revisiting everything, I'm like, oh, I can like feel Betsy a little bit more now. It's so interesting. Like I don't know. It's crazy.